Now let's cross live to Hangzhou, where Chinese President Xi Jinping is welcoming leaders from the BRICS countries. He just greeted South African President Jacob Zuma. Now this is Brazilian President Michel Temer. Chinese President Xi Jinping is welcoming BRICS leaders in Hangzhou ahead of the G20 summit on Sunday. This is Russian President Vladimir Putin. Leaders of 5 BRICS countries are meeting ahead of the G20 summit, hours away. This is Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Chinese President Xi Jinping welcomes Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi in Hangzhou. Now, the leaders of the 5 BRICS countries are taking a group photo together in Hangzhou. The leaders are holding hands to show their solidarity in front of global economic challenges. Chinese President Xi Jinping is welcoming leaders from BRICS countries. Later they will meet, and Chinese President Xi Jinping is expected to give a keynote speech during the meeting. This is Hangzhou's Westlake State Guest House. Now, for more insight into the upcoming informal leaders meeting of BRICS countries, let's talk to Professor and Mr. Cap again. So earlier we were talking about the transformation of BRICS economies. So we know that this meeting happened right before the G20 summit. So what will global leaders expect from BRICS economies, Professor?
Well, the best case scenario is through better coordination of policies and its trade relations, the BRIC country could continue to rise and serve as an engine, an important engine of the global economy, because we are all in this boat, having achieved a high degree of economic integration, and it's important simply because of the size of population of the BRIC countries, the land mass. So it's very important for the BRIC countries to move forward.
What's your take, Mr.
I think the biggest concern typically in these cases is for devaluations. Currency devaluation is not good generally, but especially for developing world economies that are having to manage their own currency exchange rates and also have debts outstanding to these countries. I think that's going to be one of the things they're going to be looking at. So far that's been holding steady, but last August we did see a lot of devaluation take place.
Well, Professor, you said that the world leaders will expect more on policy coordination, but on what exactly policy coordination?
Well, if you are looking at the currency exchange, it is very important for big economies to coordinate. China, the United States.
Now, I have to stop you right there. Chinese President Xi Jinping is going to deliver a welcome remark.
President Zuma. President Temer. President Putin. It gives me great pleasure to meet you by the Westlake in Hangzhou. First of all, I would like to extend a warm welcome to all my colleagues, and also want to welcome President Temer to the BRICS family. And also want to congratulate Brazil on a successful and fantastic Olympic Games. Hangzhou is known as the paradise on earth. The enchanting beauty of the Westlake and Qiantang River has attracted hundreds and millions of Chinese and foreign tourists. Hangzhou is an ancient Chinese capital with over 1,000 years of history and a city with picturesque landscape. It is also an innovative and a vibrant city with a broad mind. The rise of emerging markets and developing countries is one of the most far-reaching changes in contemporary international relations. BRICS countries are the champions of emerging markets and the developing countries. They are also important members of the G20. We should follow the historical and the global trend, strengthen coordination and collaboration, strengthen and build the two major platforms, the BRICS and the G20, and enable emerging markets and the developing countries to play a bigger role in international affairs and take a more advantageous position in global governance. Dear colleagues, since the beginning of this year, through the concerted efforts of all the 5 countries and under the initiative of the BRICS President India, BRICS cooperation have maintained sound momentum of growth. The areas of cooperation have been further expanded, and more fruitful results have been produced. In particular, in the area of people-to-people and cultural exchanges, there are many highlights. I hope our meeting today will produce fruitful outcomes in order to make good preparations for the G20 Hangzhou Summit, which will be opened this afternoon, and also lay a sound foundation for the 8th BRICS Summit to be held in Goa, India next month. I would now invite Prime Minister Modi to chair the meeting.
Your Excellency, President Xi Jinping, Your Excellency,